to SFU. I came here when I was 12, and then I finished my education, post-secondary education in SFU. I studied accounting and marketing, and that was my path. And then the reason I chose to do accounting was because my mom's an accountant, and she has her own firm. She's just like many Asian parents. Well, she never forced me, but I felt it is my duty to, prolong or extend her legacy in her business. So naturally, I chose it. I'm not crazy about accounting. It's not something that you're really passionate every day. It's something that I like. So I did that, and I started working, and I had one of the best things about SFU is they do offer a lot of work experience, opportunities that you can get experience from. So ever since I was here, pretty much everything went according to my humble plan. I never thought I would be with shop.com, on-premise business, whatever wonderful name you call it. And actually, I've never heard of this business here, never. But my mom uses the product. Only one, enzyme. A friend of hers introduced the product to her, but that friend never showed the business to her. So, to my mom, she thought this company only sells that product, and they only sell the product. Like usually, when you buy something, you wouldn't think, oh, one day I might run that business, right? When you buy Starbucks, we just buy coffee. I don't go, oh, one day I want to own this. Unless you want to go in franchise. But anyway, when I graduated from SFU, we went on a family trip. We went back to Taiwan, and she rented out the product. So she called up her friend in Vancouver and asked them if they could send the product to her. But then that friend referred his brother in Taiwan, and that's how we heard the business for the first time. So actually, my sponsor and I was never met before. So to them, we are complete strangers. Yeah. And I had zero interest in the business then. And then, but when my mom heard the plan, well, obviously it's in Chinese, in Mandarin, back in Taiwan, she was really excited. And she thought immediately it's an opportunity for us, for the second generation. She's actually doing really well in her own business. Like she has a residual income, like with her accounting firm. But it's really difficult because when we immigrated here, she actually flew every year about 6 or 7 times back and forth because it's her own business. So she actually set up a system where she only meets the really important client now, or else she never shows up at the firm, but the money keeps rolling in. But that process is extremely painful, like as I watched when I was really young. But when you sold business, you say, like, this is for you and your cousin. Like, I have no siblings. And well, I have a sibling, but I have no close age sibling. My sister is way older than me. So my cousin is only 1 year apart with me. So we heard the business, and we were mildly interested in it. And then my sponsor sold me a ticket to 2011 Miami World Conference. I went there, and I started from there.
Because all of us here have been in the business for some time.
Okay.
Different of us have like different problems. Have you come across any obstacle? Like starting this path, it's not easy. What was your obstacle and how did you overcome it?
Well, I'm sure we all have, whatever we can think of, whatever we want to know. I believe later we'll have Q and A. You can ask me anything. Like, whatever I can help you with, I'm here for you. But for myself personally, I knew when I signed up, think about it. I left Taiwan when I was 12, and at that time, there was internet, but you had to go through something called a modem.
Yeah.
So when you go online, pretty much your whole household knows you're really young. You wouldn't know. I'm 30. If you have heard of that song, it goes like, like that's modem. So back then there were like MSN Messenger, Windows Live Messenger, whatever you want to call it. It came like 4 years after when I got here. The first online chat thing, there's no app back then, was called ICQ.
Yes.
If you nod your head, I know, I know you're up there with me. But it's called ICQ, and then, like, you can think about it. That thing is literally like blocks with text back and forth. But because it's so revolutionary, like you can actually talk to someone for free and then use like facial icons. Is very, like at that time is very new. But no one in Taiwan used that thing. In Taiwan, when Yahoo came on, they had a messenger. That's when Taiwan blew up. That's like 2-3 years later. So I have no close contact in Taiwan. So for the first 2 years, a lot of people ask me in Taiwan, how come I built so fast? And but I tell them, if we were to switch places, you might give up. Because when I went back at the beginning, one of the things I realized the most is a lot of the young entrepreneurs, UFOs in Taiwan, they tend to only share business with their own age group, with their friends, or their classmates, or whoever. But to me, I think if you want to do business, you got to share with all kinds of people. You can't discriminate against, well, they're not discriminating, but they don't have the courage to show it to them. So I know I have no immediate friends in Taiwan. But it's easy if I want to have friends in Taiwan to make friends, right? But making friends takes time.
Yeah.
So I'm doing that, but then I told my mom, I said, can you refer your, like to me, it's like uncle, aunties. But I asked her, can you refer all your friends to me, and I want to show them business. Like, it really doesn't matter if they want to join, but I just want to create that awareness. And my mom is what you call a superwoman, like in her circle of friends, and my family. My mom is the muscle. Yeah, she is. Like she took care of all the family. Like because she's the oldest in her age group and my family. So she took care of everyone, including my cousin. She paid for all the tuition. Yeah. Because my uncle, they quite a number of them got divorced. So she assumed responsibility and took care of them. And then asked her, can you refer your friends to me? And she said, she looked at my face, she said, I can do that. But do you have the guts to tell them? To show them the plan?
Yeah.
And I said, yeah. But when I said, yeah, I didn't really know how to show the plan. But I knew if I didn't, like, it's not something that, even if you master this business, master the business wouldn't necessarily give you courage to show. Like, to me, it's two different things. Like, mastering your craft and having guts to do something are two separate things. So, I started showing the plan, and my first recruit came after 9 tries.
Wow.
It wasn't like a fairy tale story where I just told, I went to Taiwan and did it for like 5 years, and boom, direct money. It's not, like, I knew when I signed up it's not easy, because I'm trying to shrink 45 years into 2 to 3 years, right? I'm not trying to, it's not a get money fast, but it's really fast. But the only testament is how hard do you want it and how do you work it. But there is a lot of technicalities that we can talk about that will enhance your speed in the business. But other than that, to me, like, there is no obstacles. There is, but to me, if something happens, then let's deal with it. Yeah. And then we move on to the next one, move on to the next one, move on to the next one. Like today I still found my own obstacles. Like, every stage you will have that threshold you have to move through. And to me now, all I think about is how I can bring, my goal is to bring 100 people to the US convention. But then with that is their safety, or how we're gonna go. Like that's my job now. Like that's something I need to, it's not something for you to think about now. But you will eventually think about it down the line. But it's not something you need to worry about. So I'm just sharing you with this, as in, don't over worry about what might come yet.
Yeah.
Finish solve what you have right now, then move on to the next stage. Yeah,
I think network or the amount of people that we know, there is, you know, we cannot just expand our circle, the circle of friends that we know.
Right.
And, you know, we ran out of people. I need to go meet more people. And then you got a new group of people. How do you meet new people to, you know, sign up more? I mean, you have your mom's support, your family support,
yeah.
okay? But then there is still some sort of a, you know, limit over there. Where do you go and meet new people?
No, but you got to think about it. A lot of people find this business difficult at the beginning is because you think you need a lot of your own friends to expand, but it's not really about that. A lot of the men or my money earners in my team, I don't even know them. Cool. It's not like they're not my direct friends, right? So okay, and then take this knowledge and look at other people's group. Just ask them humbly, like, oh, how did you meet? If you know, like, this guy's professional coordinator, as a supervisor coordinator, and ask them, like, how did you guys meet? Really rarely they go like, oh, that's my friend from high school, that's my friend from right? So if that's part of the truth, then you know, like, and you understand the ABC pattern. Then it's never about how many friends you have. It's about who you can get to, right? So my mom referred her friends to me, and at the same time, I'm trying to make friends. At the same time, I'm trying to get my friends to refer a friend to me. But I'm not trying to make friends with everyone. Like, that's the biggest mistake people make. Like, you're trying to impress not impress. You're trying to build a relationship with everyone.
Yeah.
Building a relationship takes time. Right, so let that come naturally. So what I'm trying to do is, if Kathy is my mom's friend, and then my mom refer her to me, I'm not, like, I do everything. I follow up with her, I show the plan with her. All my mom have to do, like, just like my friend, all I have to do is just refer that person to me, and I'll take care of the rest.
So once I've helped you, you're saying that you would ask me for help?
Yeah.
In other words, I could lead you to somebody else?
Yes, but in order for you to help me, you will first have to acknowledge me, right? So I show the plan, and if you show it, I don't want to show well. If you show it with a genuine heart, like, show plan is a skill. It's a skill, but that skill has nothing to do with if this person comes up or not. Okay, but you have to show it, like, passionately, enthusiastically, and genuinely. And if she is on board, not joining, but she said, okay, this plan will work, and then something that I can think about, then if you ask humbly, okay, perfect, this business is, I'm building this region, if it's okay, can you refer like 2 or 4 people that you think might be interested in the business, and then next time we will show them together, and if they think this business is doable, maybe we have.
Yeah, I think I might know of somebody, my lazy grandson. No.
Perfect. We'll make him less lazy. No, you can do whatever you want. And then,
I understand.
and then she will lead me to her grandson. And maybe that grandson will lead me to someone. And then that grandson will lead me to Kyle. And that Kyle is, that's what jobs do the being job.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if, like, think about it. Without Kathy and without Lily, I would never, like, or really, really, really rare, I would bump into Kyle. Okay, even if I bump into Kyle on the street, I wouldn't talk to him. Even if I talked to him, he wouldn't talk to me.
Yeah.
But because I got a line of people referring, so he had a really basic trust levels. So it's easier for me at least to talk to him about something. So when I show him the plan, he's on board. I said, take it. Then he comes to some training, know more about the business, and he said, Frank, okay, let's do this. What should I do? Just 2 to 3 years. I have some basic understanding about what exactly, how we're going to work together. And then blah, blah, blah. Show him business, join, open up portal, then became a loop. And I asked him, okay, name list. And then we just do the same thing.
ABC.
Yeah. So that's what ABC is about. ABC, the whole thing about ABC is, the only way you can do it is so you can get to people you don't know.
Okay.
Right? So that's what ABC is truly about. So when I'm not trying to look, if the opportunity presents itself, I'll take it. But I'm not trying to force it every time. I've never, ever, like to 2011 till now, I've never ever recruited anyone that is a complete stranger to me, that I met on the street. Like anywhere, like not even on social media, like never. It's always a friend's friends, or friends' friends' friends, friends' friends' friends. That is a stranger to me, but at least we know someone. But I know some people, they do like to go into the cold market and get that strangers. That's fine too. But personally, I've never done it, and it still works out fine, because that's part of the nameless community. So yeah, just, if you do that, it's actually really fun and easy, I think.
Okay, your wife is also in this business, right?
Right.
Do you know her already when you started this, or it was after?
No. Oh, she's not a UFO.
Oh, she's still not?
Oh, she is now.
No, she is
But
not. She wasn't when you
Real
first-
what? Right, when I met her a year in Taiwan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was she interested in the business when you talked to her about it?
Oh, she was interested in me. Was that this way about? Okay. I was interested in her, so.
You got a negative spouse.
Okay, well, the reason why I'm asking this is, this guy here, he's been coming here into the chorus with me for a year now.
Okay.
I'm not doing anything, you do whatever you want, I support you. Like,
I've got one and I don't bring it.
So, I mean, what is it? Like, I bring him to conference 2 times.
Right.
He's been here with me every week.
Mhm.
And still, you do whatever you want. What can I do with it?
Okay.
You know what, he's here.
That's why I'm talking about him.
Yeah. My wife, when I met her, but the truth is,
No, I know.
we didn't talk. Well, she knows what I do, but then, like, the first year was really hard for her, like, to date me, because we don't go on dates, because she met me when I started to speak, like in Taiwan. I became a speaker bureau, so my weekend is always in the GMTSS. So if I ask her to go to like Kaohsiung, it's the southern part of Taiwan, and then she always knows. If I'm being that nice, we're like, hey, want to go to Kaohsiung together? That usually means because I have a meeting there. I'm gonna speak to you via Basic 5, then we get the night off. We go to a night market or something. And then she's a teacher. And she was a teacher when I met her, and she finished her master's degree. Yeah, she had a master's degree. And then in 2 years, so we've been seeing each other for 5 years now. And then I always thought she understands me and why I work so hard. But then a realization came in when she finished her master, and then I was, if I wasn't wrong, I was an executive supervising coordinator. And then it was my birthday, right? So on my birthday, okay, July 30th, I have a GMTS in Kaohsiung. August 1st, August 1st, I have a training or GMTS in Taichung. Okay, it's quite far apart. So I said, okay, let's go on a trip. We'll go to the Kaohsiung. And then, well, my birthday will not, like, there's no meeting that day. We'll go wherever, and then we'll drive back to Taichung, and then I'll speak, and then we'll go back to Taoyuan with the
I
northern
can see
part.
an earthquake coming.
Yeah, and then, well, the whole time, she was, like when I went to speak, I told her you can go shop or whatever. And then she actually took the whole day and decorated our hotel room. It's like, happy birthday, and blah blah blah. She bought a gift for me. And then when we got to Taichung was August 1st, I spoke for a whole day. And then at the end of the day, my partner asked me to show the plan for them. So we went to another coffee shop. And everything like to me, that's really normal for my life. Like that's how it is. And as soon as we finished, it was like about 8 or 9 o'clock. We got in the car. She starts bawling, like crying, like really hard. And I was really confused. I was like, why you and then she said, why can't your partner bring your prospect to your UPP in the morning? Why do they have to make you like so tired and afterwards? And then she's like, why are you never tired? I'm tired, like when I get home. But she's like, why you, I'm like, she's like, what? She felt really like heartbroken because she thinks I'm working too hard.
Overdo, yeah.
Yeah, and then I was listening to her, and I thought, because at that moment I thought, oh, I thought you knew, I thought you know why. Because a lot of moments I work so hard because I remember what my partner told me. Like you too, like you're my partner. So if you, like, I have like every partner that tell me their life story or what they want to accomplish or what they're going through right now. Like I know there's one my partner, he's struggling with his marriage right now. And it's not something that shop.com is like we can fix. But I believe having financial and time stability would help. But then he still needs to build, right? Like, it doesn't go like, he needs to build. So I'm there for him to talk to him, and I know. So whenever I feel tired and I think about these people, and then I move forward. But she doesn't know because she never talked. She never had a chance to talk to me. So even if they talk, it's like fun talk, right? But then I knew, oh my God, it's my fault because I've always tried to. It seems like I'm getting her involved, but she never talked to my partner, like on a personal level. So I started to bring her to Koreans. Koreans not enough because Korean would come here and then do this and that. So whenever I get a chance, and then I will ask my partner to talk to her and share why they want to build this business so much. And then she began to understand why I am so can you say passionate anymore? Like why I'm so keen on doing this. And then we went going to US from a Taiwanese first point really helps because it's really difficult going to US.
$4,000.
And not just that, it's the time. Like not a lot of them can have 2 weeks off, like easily. Like some of my partners, they go back, switch jobs, right? Because think about it. In a calendar year, they actually took 4 weeks off. And in Asian culture, it's really hard for them to have consecutive. I mean, they can take days off, that's no problem. But it's really rare to have like 2 weeks straight. So usually they go back, and then, not a lot of them, but some of them do. But it's the kind of preparation and mental toughness that you know they bring to the table. So in my perspective, why, like whenever I think about that, I just want to go fast for them, right? So that's how my wife has got to know more and more and more. But still, because think about it, it's 7 years and maybe like 2 years strong involvement. So it's still different. But I'm always, I love her. So I love her. I love my parents. I mean, we may have different opinions, but I always thought the best for them. And I would never be angry with them, even if they say something that I cannot agree with at the moment. But then I understand because they're coming from a different angle. So this is how my mom raised me. Like I have a cousin. She's in the business now, but she's really young. She's 21, I think. And then when we were even younger, when I was 18 and she's like 11, 10, I would get mad at her because I think she's so lazy. But my mom told me, you cannot use your 18 years old mentality to 10-year-old. The same, you cannot use your mentality now to judge a newcomer. So when I think about that and I think about her, and it becomes easier. Like there's no problem. Even if it gets really tense at that moment, it's still fine. There's something we go through. And a lot of times it's not really about the business, it's about because they had a bad day. Like it's nothing to do with them. But having a bad day would obviously, you're not just being, like you're uncomfortable here, but you're uncomfortable anywhere, that day. So it's a matter of going through every day is fun.
Do you have any team locally?
Here?
Yeah.
No.
Not even one?
I personally forbid them because I said if we're not here, don't do it. Because then we can't give them the mindset.
Yeah.
Like locally, I know resource is there, but if we're not here to, I think it's not responsible for me to sponsor someone or anybody in my team to sponsor someone here. But like, hey, go ahead. Why don't you join this? And then go from there and talk to me via Skype or whatever meeting or go to meeting with me. I think it's not fair for them. So I told them, like we build where we are now, and but I do have a plan to build here. But that's probably when I have kids.
Oh, so you're coming back?
Yeah, when the kids are coming back.
Oh, good news for us. And it seems like when I talk to like different levels, in different pin levels, everyone faces different kinds of problems. But when you have formed a team, I have heard different people tell me that I'm not asking this for myself, I'm asking for this for people who already has a team. That, you know, you have people in your team that is go now, people that is needy, mediocre, people that, you know, that you can just give up on them.
Stable.
How do you like put your effort into this different groups of people? Like how much do you push them? Do you help which kind of people more? Like how do you handle your team?
Okay, let me ask you this then. What do you think in Go Now is? Like, what does that mean?
Have a strong why.
Strong why, okay.
Go for it.
Okay.
To the team.
Sorry?
Somebody that contributes to the
Contributing,
team.
okay, that's good. And then?
Self-motivated.
Self-motivated, yeah. And then? Okay, then,
I stick it and bring to conference.
then flip it. What's a not Go Now? Or someone where you would think I should spend less time on this person?
Anybody that doesn't do those things.
So here's the deal for me. Like, when I went back to Taiwan, I don't really like, I like the word, but at that time I really don't like the word Go Now, because it doesn't tell, okay, a lot of people in Taiwan, so I don't know about here, they misunderstood the meaning of Go Now. Because to me, a Go Now is a combination of self-motivation and knowledge. Like to me, but in some group, in most group really, people will see if this person comes to the coding a lot, or if they go to the training a lot, if they buy ticket a lot, we automatically assume, oh, that guy's really Go Now. But then sometimes you will realize maybe a year or half a year or two that they never had any development. And it's still him. And then you start to think, how come? Why is that? And that's because, okay, take it for myself. 2011, after the Miami conference, then I joined about mid-2011. At that time, there's a 2011 Frank, right? There's a 2017 Frank. If you give us an hour of time, our productivity is hugely different. But my motivation is roughly the same. Like I didn't change too much from the beginning. Like I'm like this. Like I love the business. I really like it. But till now, I know more people. I met a lot more people and I met a lot more UFOs. That fuels me. But my knowledge is different. So I would suggest you don't label your partners. But what you need to do is but if you want to identify, do it this way. Think about who you want to work with the most at the moment. The people that usually makes money in the beginning are the people you least expected. Like building this business is not about like hanging out with best friends, besties all the time. It's about like identifying who wants to do it. How do you do that? It's very easy. Knowledge, it can always grow. Look for those who always have your back. Let's say, okay, we're going to help HBP next week. Oh, remember, okay, 3 weeks later we're going to have HBP. and you're like, okay, who would like to be the organizer? Look for those who raise their hand first. Okay, and then look for those who attends a lot. Then those people are your core. But don't label them as go now. Because as soon as you label them, you're gonna start, oh, let's go now. I help everyone on my team, like go now or now. If I have a chance and they're right there, I'll help them. But the non-go nows, okay, the go now can see me all the time. Because they're actually call me, right? Then we'll meet. But the non-go nows, they won't call you, so you wouldn't even start an appointment with them. So where do the non-go nows meet you? GMTSS or core rings. But your non-go nows will one day be a go now. Why? Because something in their life might happen. Maybe he bought a house. Maybe she has a kid. Maybe they start a family. Maybe they something. It's always something that would tweak them and make them think otherwise. And they will and you will see that fire. And they start to come really rapidly and then blah blah blah. Then you work with them really closely and duplicate the right thing for them to grow. So, like to me, there's not really a go now. To me, I don't call my appointments go now, not go now. I just like it's a phase. It's a PH, like phase. Like every half a year, I'm trying to build a new group. Not from scratch, a new group of leaders. So I can scatter them around and they'll do something. And then the half year, I'll just try to, because building someone takes time. Like really, you gotta be with them, talk to them, and they see how you handle things when things happens. You go like, oh, or you go like, okay, we're gonna do like this. Don't be nervous. You got this. Blah 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 blah. And then they will, scatter them around, and they'll build in different regions, and then do it again. It's actually a lot of fun because you get to meet a lot of different people with different personalities, and some will test you kind of, but a lot. Like in shop.com, you actually will have a lot of fun because you meet wonderful people that want to build together. So it's actually quite good.
I want to ask you in Taiwan, last time when I was chatting with you, you told me that your members are spread throughout Taiwan.
Right.
Geologically, it's
Because I can control it.
Yeah, it's hard to control, but then how do you get in touch with every one of them?
I can.
You can. But you have like you use the apps, correct? The face-to-face apps to have a meeting or something like that?
Oh, you mean like training?
Yeah.
Yes, but the training is for everyone. But by getting in touch with a lot of them, like for me is how do I get in touch with my leaders? It's different. Like it's really impossible for me to call everyone.
Yeah.
Like literally won't work. So I talk to my leaders.
How does the coring or your do you organize any activities? Like say motives party or whatever. How
Parties we do like
you do?
yeah.
Does it really help? Because why